What do you see, especially now, with what's going on in Ukraine and the world more broadly? Why do you see that this is the moment to push this and get the Intercontinental Railway working? Why now?
Excellent question, because I've had a lot of people reach out to me and said, well, that's the end of this project. And not at all. I think no matter what our differences in the world, and you look through history, all great nations will always have differences. But I think there's a lot of commonality in what we wish for our futures, for our children's future, and for the greatness of our respective countries. And so when you look, as you see on this Russian version of the project flag and the American version as well, the foundations of this project are rooted in peace, progress, and the bottom line being prosperity for all the nations involved. This military conflict in Ukraine is going to take a great deal of healing, recovery, and rebuilding. And I can think of no project that can bring such greatness and such results for all the nations involved than the Intercontinental Railway. Where we begin, I think right now, immediately with the situation in Ukraine, I think it is vital that we have a ceasefire and a rollback of the troops out of Ukraine and a 21st century solution, because this has to be in place for the life of this project. Remember, this project is going to create infrastructure that will be in service for 100 to 200 years. So there'll be any number of political differences even after the project is built. But we need a 21st century solution because, as we've seen in Ukraine, threat-based diplomacy of consequences and sanctions have failed. And unfortunately, people are dying, Ukrainians are dying, good Ukrainians, civilians have died, good Russians have died. It's a sad loss. But a 21st century solution, when you look at our civilization, a military is prepared to fight a conflict 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, right? But we have no such approach to diplomacy. So in this situation, we need to put in place with a ceasefire and a rollback, a crisis resolution team that is negotiating with an ABC team 24 hours a day, 7 days a week between Moscow, Kiev, and Washington to resolve the differences in a mutually beneficial way. And I say mutually beneficial because we keep saying how diplomacy has failed, but we're leaving out something in this diplomacy, and that's mutually beneficial diplomacy, not just relying on threats and sanctions. And I lay all this out because this is the insurance we need for political cooperation well into the future for the Intercontinental Railway to succeed.